On Tuesday's The Chase, ITV presenter Bradley Walsh found himself on the receiving end of a brutal two-word takedown from Anne Hegerty, aka the governess, in an exchange that left the audience laughing and Bradley momentarily speechless. As the show kicked off, Bradley introduced the contestants, Kat, Frank, Nettie, and Jaden, who were gearing up to face off against Anne in the hopes of securing a cash prize. As Anne made her entrance, Bradley couldn't resist getting in a cheeky dig, quipping, "Oh, look who's coming across the bridge. Whoa, here she is," before launching into a mockingly dramatic introduction. "It's old Frosty Knickers herself, everyone. Hide, kids. Hide. Guess who's come up from the basement? It's the governess, Anne Hegerty." But as Bradley continued with his playful banter, it was clear that Anne wasn't in the mood for jokes. With a sharp, no-nonsense tone, she cut him off with a simple but firm "shut up," causing Bradley to turn his back on her in mock defeat. The audience couldn't help but laugh at the cheeky back and forth, with Anne clearly putting Bradley in his place. The contestants then got down to business, with Kat, a 49-year-old category manager from Surrey, being the first to face the governess. Although Kat had a rocky start in her cash builder, she managed to answer 5 questions correctly before the timer ran out. Anne, ever the strategist, offered Kat 2 other tempting sums of money, but Kat opted to stick with her £5,000, making her the first contestant through to the final chase. Next up was Frank, who was eager to follow in Kat's footsteps. The 66-year-old secured £3,000 during his cash builder and chose not to take the higher or lower offers, deciding instead to stick with his original amount. This decision paid off, as he made it through to the final chase alongside Kat. Nettie, 54, came next, but unfortunately, despite answering 4 questions correctly in the cash builder, she didn't make it past Anne, who swiftly caught her before she could reach the final chase. With the pressure mounting, it was up to Jaden, 24, to keep the team's hopes alive. Jaden, a retail assistant, answered £3,000 in the cash builder and decided to stick with this offer during the head-to-head with Anne. The gamble paid off when he made it through to the final chase, securing £3,000 and bringing the team's total to £11,000. In the final chase, the trio of Kat, Frank, and Jaden worked together, answering 16 questions correctly in a bid to outrun Anne. However, their efforts weren't quite enough, and Anne caught up with them with just 39 seconds left on the clock, leaving the team with no cash to take home. Despite their valiant efforts, Anne once again proved why she's one of the toughest chasers, as Bradley was left to reflect on the 2-word lesson he'd received earlier in the show: "Shut up."